Personally, my favorite car would probably be my red Beat, just because of how special the circumstances around building that car were, the people I met through owning the car, the fact that I worked and lived in Japan at Cozy Lights because of that car. This is a 1991 Honda Beat that I did a full restoration on. I took the body down to the raw chassis. I had it wet blasted, primered, and painted. Everything on the car has been refinished and or replaced, either by powder coating, Cerakote, zinc plating, or obviously brand new parts. You can see the quality I've put into the car just by the door jamb alone and the entryway into the driver area. This is under the front hood. There isn't much of a view of the engine bay. But what there is viewable through here. So to give a little bit of background on this car, it's a K car, which is a class of cars in Japan that are limited to 660 cc. They have 64 PS maximum. And this one achieves that by using ITBs. Earlier on in the door sill, you saw the M-Trek logo, which stands for multi-throttle responsive engine control. So just some neat facts about this car. It makes basically 100 horsepower per liter in 1991 for a car was $11,000 brand new. Here's a sample of the dealer brochure. So essentially, this is a full catalog car. So you could have bought this car as it sat for 1.59 million yen. I have almost every brochure for this car. Brochures down to the wheel brochure, which includes the specific tire spec right there. Thankfully, I have a great contact, Craig at Bonsai Rides, who helps me load all of the cars and ship them over here, as well as deal with customs. Other than the occasional soil exam, etc., as long as the car is 15 years old, there really isn't an issue importing it into Canada. I suppose insurance can be an issue. It doesn't necessarily apply to me because I have a business here and I'm able to insure them via fleet under a special plate. However, this luxury obviously isn't available to most people, so they have to search around for insurance companies to insure the cars. However, it is possible. It's just everything just takes time and obviously money, but definitely possible. So this car is part of a class of cars called K cars in Japan. The Beat was one of the first K sports cars following the Suzuki Alto Works. It's the first open car, mid-engine K sports car. Now to preface K cars in Japan, as I said before, they are limited to 660 cc and 64 PS. Now you may ask yourself why you'd want such a low-powered car or a small car, but the main reason in Japan is road tax and parking. So most people buy these cars because of the low amount of tax and shaken you have to pay to keep the car on the road. Added to the low cost of vehicle and no real requirement to show proof of parking, especially at the height of the bubble economy in Japan, these cars were really popular. There was the Beat, the AutoZam AZ1, and the Cappuccino available at the same time, the ABCs. And obviously this is my favorite one. Realistically, this car is almost completely stock other than the Mugen parts, which were all available at the dealership. So as custom as this may look, you could have bought this directly from the Honda dealership, looking just like this, though likely with probably a lesser quality of paint. I definitely put some effort into painting this car. So the Mugen kit includes this front bumper, these wheels that are dual staggered 13 to 14, the side step, the rear lip spoiler, rear bumper, and in the interior I've got the steering wheel with the crooked horn button and the shifter, and a few minor things like the seatbelt covers and the lumbar pillow. 760 kilo stock. And this one I imagine might weigh a little bit less because of the fiberglass parts on it, but not much. So Shaken is a 2-year mandatory inspection on vehicles in Japan. It's applied at the same time as road tax or road insurance. And essentially the cost increases on the age of the vehicle. But most importantly, Shaken really is a stringent test on every mechanical portion of the car to make sure and certify it's safe for the road. Sometimes, in my opinion, overly safe. There's some regulations within Shaken that are overly cautious, and there are some precautions that don't offer any safety at all. Like, for example, some strut bars and K-vans are completely A-OK legal, but you'd essentially break your shins on them if you got in a collision. However, a little wide fender on a Honda Beat won't pass Shaken. So some parts of the law don't make sense to me, but the benefit of the law is every import or used vehicle in Japan is maintained to an almost impeccable standard. Not only for people's eye for quality there and desire to treat things properly and follow things by the book, but also because it's really mandated by the government to keep your car within a certain condition for it to be on the road still. If I could afford one, I would love an NSX Type R or an NSX Type S0, but unfortunately the market has gone ballistic on them in the past 5 years, so they've basically become unobtainable for me if I want to continue collecting these other models. But those would definitely be the cars I'd be looking for. Cheap car I would be looking for is probably a JA4 Honda Today M-Track, or an HA4 Honda Acti truck, some sort of K car. I'm sort of a K car person, so I'd probably look for another specialty Honda K car that's mid-engine and 5-speed. Since that's usually the type of Honda I like, Hondas that are rear-wheel drive. So that'd definitely be the next thing I'm looking for. My name's Chase Johnson. I'm the founder here at CCRAFT Detail and Custom.